Before air conditioning became a household staple, an Indian summer presented a severe architectural problem. All day long, a flat concrete roof acts as a massive thermal battery. It absorbs the sun's radiation for 12 hours straight, trapping that heat inside the structure long after the sun goes down. To make that space habitable by nightfall, you have to engineer a thermal shock. This means hauling buckets of water up to the roof and pouring them directly onto the scorching cement. The goal is rapid evaporation. As the water turns to steam, it pulls the latent heat right out of the concrete. But that cooling process requires immense physical labor. Every evening, families perform a grueling logistical ritual, hauling thick cotton mattresses and heavy water-filled clay pots up steep, narrow staircases, just to avoid making a second trip in the dark. Finding a breeze requires effort. Getting a family to sleep comfortably on a roof means executing a highly coordinated, heavy lifting operation every single day, just to reach a baseline of physical relief. Once the roof cools, the layout is highly strategic. The edges near the parapet walls offer the strongest drafts, creating premium microclimates that children will actively barter for to secure the best sleeping spot. The central cooling technology for this entire setup is the traditional charpai. With its interwoven rope matrix and elevated wooden frame, it is specifically engineered to allow maximum air circulation directly beneath the sleeper's body. Parents manage this fragile grid of beds like air traffic controllers. They enforce strict rules on how pillows are placed so they don't plummet off the edge in the dark, and they step in to resolve the inevitable sibling disputes over who gets that prime, breezy real estate. This arrangement converts a bare, flat roof into a highly structured temporary living room, where every piece of furniture and every family member is positioned strictly around the pursuit of a passing breeze. As the night settles in, the dynamic shifts. The physical labor ends, and the older generation steps in to manage the mood. Grandmothers take over as the ultimate pacifiers, using long, sprawling stories to settle down restless children who are still too energized to sleep. Part of that settling process involves mapping the night sky. Elders point upward, tracing specific star layouts for the younger generation, like the 7 distinct points of the Saptarishi, or Ursa Major, constellation. Down below, the auditory landscape reinforces a deep sense of security. The rhythmic, distant calls of the neighborhood night watchman, shouting "Jak diraho," stay awake, echo through the empty streets, providing a reliable sonic backdrop. Right beside the beds, the solid-state transistor radio serves a vital psychological function. Dialing into a station playing old songs creates a steady ambient noise, helping drown out the primal anxieties of sleeping exposed to the dark outdoors. The combination of ancient star maps, the crackle of low-fidelity music, and neighborhood guardians turn the exposed concrete slab into a secure, predictable microcosm for the night. Then, the environment completely fractures. The barometric pressure drops severely, the steady breeze abruptly stops, and the sharp, metallic smell of ozone hits the air. Tension spikes instantly. Thick storm clouds roll over, immediately blocking out the moonlight and plunging the entire rooftop setup into near-total darkness. The first heavy drops of rain shatter the calm. What follows is a frantic, blind scramble. The entire family is instantly awake, reaching out in the dark to dismantle a camp they spent hours building. A sudden evacuation demands strict triage. You leave the missing slippers behind. The priority is grabbing the heavy, highly absorbent cotton mattresses before the rain ruins them entirely. The retreat is genuinely hazardous. Parents bark urgent commands to slow down, as everyone tries to navigate a steep, rapidly slicking concrete staircase while carrying massive, awkward bundles of bedding. A sudden storm completely short-circuits the night. It takes a family completely relaxed in communal bonding and forces them into a synchronized, high-stakes evacuation drill in seconds. Downstairs, the family regroups. They are physically drenched, standing in the middle of their living room, but visibly invigorated. The ambient temperature has plummeted, and the stifling heat of the afternoon is completely gone. The relief is entirely biological. As rain hits the parched summer earth, soil bacteria release a specific chemical compound called geosmin. This creates the deep, nostalgic scent known as petrichor, or mitti ki khushbu. The psychological posture of the household reverses. Instead of sealing the house to block out the harsh environment, the family throws the windows wide open, actively pulling that fragrant, rain-cooled air inside. The first rain hitting parched summer earth triggers an involuntary neurochemical reward, marking the transition from physical endurance to sensory relief. By the next morning, the children's perspective shifts entirely. The looming dread of another scorching day is replaced by the kinetic energy of navigating flooded streets under a steady downpour. The weather anomaly forces new rituals. The flooded gullies become temporary testing grounds for engineering and launching floating lined paper boats right into the current. The morning is capped by a specific culinary tradition. The promise of hot, golden pakoras, pulled straight from a bubbling iron wok, provides a perfect, multi-sensory climax to the newly cooled air. These Indian summer nights endure in cultural memory as a shared journey, a progression from communal heat and labor to a collective sensory salvation provided by the storm.